Well, welcome back into the Mad Monday podcast, live from Hallensteins on Queen Street, where it is our great pleasure to welcome into the podcast fullback for the Warriors, Charnze Nicoll-Klokstad. Welcome in, mate. Welcome in.
Thanks, team. Thanks for having me.
Oh, lovely to see you. And you're not on the side this weekend. You're on the slow recovery. How are things going?
Yeah, slow recovery. It's something that's sort of out of my control, which can be a little bit frustrating, but a lot of positives. Good to see the boys fit, ready, and looking forward to the game this weekend.
And how good is it having so much depth in the side? You know, when you've got someone like Tane, who is pretty cool for him to not have to commit to a full season, can actually just get that taste of first grade.
Yeah, it keeps him hungry, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's been really cool to see the growth of Tane, and he's been doing a really good job at the back, and for him, it's just about growing, and these opportunities will help him do that.
How much does he sort of follow you around and pick away at you for bits of advice?
Yeah, not too much. Tane's he's really good. If there's something that I like to preach to him or any other fullback in our squad is, you know, they're sort of there for their own talents and their own way of being a fullback, and it's probably just more defensive stuff. If they ever need a hand or need a voice or an opinion, I'm always there for them, but they're there for a reason.
And with there being so much depth, it's sort of obvious how much fight there is, like in the centres, you know, even in the halves.
Yep.
We were just going through the New South Wales Cup team, and it almost reads like a first grade side this week. Does it create a good vibe or a tense vibe in training when people are really pushing for spots?
Yeah, you can have a little bit of both, I think. More of a good vibe, I feel, because you know that the club's in a good space. Obviously, as a human being, you want to be playing first grade and you want to be putting your best foot forward, but for a lot of those boys, they get the opportunity to do that in front of Webby and all the other coaching staff, plus the boys, before the boys play the Sharks this weekend. So it's just always about putting your best foot forward.
By the same token, I suppose, we always look at it as fans of the team. We're like, God, how do we fit all these guys on the field? We've got too many players. But as a player, it's a brutal sport. It's 26 weeks long. There's always going to be injuries. So are we looking at it the wrong way, thinking, how do we fit all these guys on the field? Whereas we should be thinking, well, like what's happening at the moment, you're out, you need a little bit longer to get the hammy, right?
Yep.
So now we've got a guy like Tane who can come up, and that means that Roger doesn't have to switch positions and that kind of thing.
Yeah, like I said, it's a good opportunity for boys to play footy and get the opportunity to grow, and Tane's got a good opportunity now to get that first taste of first grade round one. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
What is it, the blackout? It'll be cool to be a part of that in the stands with the fans, and it's going to be a really amazing atmosphere.
Yeah,
everyone's obviously stoked to see RTS back and his attacking flair and that. Where I love watching, especially in a live game, Roger play, and it's the same with yourself, is defensive reads. And how good is it going to have another player in that back line who can really organise a defence and see what's happening from the attacking side?
That's so exciting having Roger back. He's someone I've moulded myself as a fullback off, and just to have someone like him in the team, he brings success. I think he's our first LEM medalist. He's won premierships, he's played Kiwis, Golden Boot winner, all these competitive traits he's bringing to the side, and like you said, with the defensive side of things, he's going to be able to help organise which ways to go, left or right, and the boys are going to be a benefit of
Marcelo must be pretty excited playing outside him, man.
We were just talking about this before, eh?
Yeah.
But like, is that the best job in the NRL, being on the wing just outside RTS?
Man, it's going to be really cool to see what Marcelo can do outside Rog. Both are great players in themselves, and man, Mas has had a really good preseason, and he's looking strong.
He looks strong. And
my goodness, how do you get bigger and stronger when you're already strong and big? I don't know.
I was looking at the two players who I was pretty excited in those trials, is seeing those massive minutes from Bunty. He seems to have gone to another level.
I did a session with the boys before we got back into preseason, and he was gliding. I had to say to him, bro, you're looking really good and really fit, man. And it's just been something that he's been working on in the off season, and you can, like yourself, you can definitely see the benefits of it.
And with having Webby in there, people have it's been so amazing. Sort of, he's come, there's been this turnaround, the vibe, the fans are all behind it. From the small amount of time I've spent out at training, he seems a pretty calm individual, that he's not in the rack up yelling at people. He seems to just quietly bring the best out in players. Would that be fair?
Yeah, that's definitely the way that Webby likes to coach, and the way he comes across the players is really important to him. I think as long as he's getting the best out of players, he wants to fill them with confidence and just make sure that they're giving their best effort each and every time. You know, he does a really good job at getting the improvement across as well. So he's done a really good job with the culture, and man, I'd love to see a book of him come out soon.
Oh, he's Ted, he's Webb Lasso.
Well, once we win the chip this year, that'll be the last chapter of the book. Then he can put the book out.
Oh yes.
How much fun was it last year playing in front of those crowds? Like particularly towards the end of the season, when it was clear we were in the top 4. Everyone started going down to Mount Smart Stadium. It was the hottest ticket in town. It was absolutely out of control. What was it like running out onto the field there?
Oh man, crazy! It was no words can describe that feeling. Man, the roar, the atmosphere, the electricity through the air. Man, it was such a cool feeling to be a part of, and for rugby league in New Zealand too. You know, I think New Zealand missed rugby league and the Warriors being home, and for us to be able to get that sort of atmosphere, sort of crowd game week in, week out, it was pretty cool to be a part of.
And it sort of shows how much respect needs to go to the club as a whole, not just the players and coach, like the people behind the scenes who are setting those game days up, who are running the social media. It's a really cohesive, beautiful unit. And I know taking kids along, the game day experience is on point. So like they're really catering for fans so they can come and really enjoy the amazing product you guys are delivering.
Yeah, the staff really do a good job making sure that everything runs smoothly, and like you said, everyone's getting that really cool game day experience that they can go home and be like, man, I wanna have another taste of that next week. And it was pretty funny in the trial game. Man, I loved it. I just seen kids sliding down the hills on cardboard, and I was like, man, they're not even interested in the game, but this is, cool memories for them coming to the Warriors game. Yeah. They might see the roar and the crowd go up, and then they might have a look and see what happens. But yeah, it's cool to see these people create cool memories.
That's the place to be. What's the biggest difference between last year and this year going into this season?
I think the biggest difference from this year to last year would have to be the foundation that we've built.
Yeah.
Last year was about
building it,
creating it, everyone buying in, gaining that confidence in our systems and everything else that players do. And now that we've got that, it's about making sure that we do the things that we've been doing better, and just continually building on top of that foundation. So I think that's probably the best and coolest thing this year.
Yeah, for sure. I just wanted to ask a question to you that has been bugging me for the last sort of 5 or 6 minutes. The jerseys are quite tight-fitting, eh?
Bro, you look good, man.
Thank you.
Have to sign these up.
I needed that. I just didn't need you boys walking around here. And tremendous Nick, they're giving me the XL. I think they wrote an X. They hand wrote an X. This thing is hugging every curve. We won't hold up too much more of your time, Charnze.
I do want to know, we were talking before we recorded this, that the excitement of if the Warriors went to Vegas.
Oh, yes.
It would be amazing for the club, for promoting the game over here. But what I'm more concerned about is after the game, who's going to have the best after party? Surely Shawnee J turns on a pretty good one, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does all right. The old fellow. He's just a kid running around inside his body. Yeah, he's so funny. He brings a lot of energy, and if there's anyone that's going to bring the party, it's definitely Sean Johnson.
Brilliant. Well, Charnze, thank you very much for your time today down here at Hallensteins on Queen Street. Greatly appreciate it. Go well with the recovery, and go well with 2024.
Cool, lads. Thank you very much, boys.
Thanks, mate. Welcome back into the Mad Monday podcast down here at Hallensteins on Queen Street, and of course the Mad Monday podcast, as always, brought to you by 4 and 20 Pies, and it is my great pleasure to welcome in two of the boys from the Warriors. We've got Leke Halasima and we've got Tanner Stowers-Smith. Welcome in, boys. Welcome in.
Absolutely. I bet this was the moment you were born for, eh? You wanted to play first grade and so forth, but there's nothing like being on Queen Street in Hallensteins, talking to the Mad Monday crew.
You boys have been looking around the shop today. Is there anything that's sort of jumped out at you? Because we're standing over here. We got the cargo pants over here, 2 for $99. You cargo pants kind of guys? Tanner?
Some free gears in there, but some jean shorts.
Yeah, we'll be sniffing around the free gears.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that. So anyway, let's talk rugby league. What a time to be part of the Warriors. Like, it must be epic with the expansion of the club, having young boys right through from SG Ball coming through. Is there excitement around the club in the younger grades?
Yeah, I think there is like just the energy and that the new teams bring and stuff, and like obviously the boys haven't had the opportunity to play in those grades, and now that they've been brought in, everyone's kind of keen as to ripping in that, and yeah, that starts.
Because it's got to be good for rugby league in New Zealand when you see those young kids. They know they don't have to wait for the Roosters to come and poach them, or the Bulldogs. You know, they can actually see a path to potentially making money as a professional footy player over here.
Yeah, 100%.
And there's one of the advantages that you don't have to leave, you know, because I can't imagine how annoying it would be to be like, look, I really want to make it in the NRL, but I don't want to have to move over. Like, Sydney, Aussie's pretty similar to New Zealand, but it is still a foreign country. Yeah. So, like, the advantage of being able to stay with the Warriors must be huge for you guys.
Yeah, 100%.
I feel like, Leke, I've watched a few of your highlights. I'm getting shades of Jeremiah Nanai. Is there a player that you sort of model your game after?
Oh.
Who were your favourite players growing up?
I'll probably say Jonathan Thurston.
Thurston? Yeah.
GI?
GI, the big GI? Yeah,
those two.
Yeah, I sort of model myself after Jonathan Thurston as well, but I don't know if you can tell by the shirt that they put me in here. This was a stitch-up, by the way.
Jonathan Thurston mixed with Mark Tukey.
I look like I ate Jonathan Thurston in this shirt with the XL on me. But how good has it been in the camp with the boys, training, pre-season, all that kind of stuff? Mixing it with the first graders, like how much of a step up is that from the grades that you have been playing in, and what have been the main differences for you? Tanner first.
Yeah, well, me and Leke both came from SG Ball last year, and then transitioned into New South Wales Cup. But I think just the professional side, like just always trying to be professional, and well, for me it was more the learning things. I didn't really know much when I first came in, and I was kind of lost half the time, but just kind of learning around the game and stuff like that was for me. But yeah, like being around all the boys, you learn so much so quickly, and you know, you pick up those habits from the top tier boys. So that's from me.
Yeah, Leke, same for you?
Yeah, same.
Same. For anyone listening to this is Leke's first interview. He's absolutely crushing it.
First time.
What you can't see is that there has been a crowd of people gathered around us here at Hallensteins, because it's on Queen Street, so people are walking back and forth. There's people stopping, starting. There's cameras everywhere. You're nailing it, though, Dai. You're doing a really good job.
Thanks very much. Thank you. The excitement's building, though, because what a time to be sort of pushing for spots in first grade when the Warriors are almost, you'd have to say, over 30 years at the peak that they've been. They're delivering consistently on the park. We've got Webby as a coach. Do you guys have a lot to do with him? And what would you say, Tanner, about Andrew Webster?
I feel like we all kind of have a lot to do with him. Like just the way he kind of presents himself at trainings and outside of trainings and stuff. Like the way he gets around all the boys, and it's not all just footy. It's more, you know, personal level type stuff, and finding out about that person and just asking and just getting to know, you know, what's going on in their lives and stuff like that. Like,
that's cool. So he is sort of concerned that you're a happy human off the park as well as just on the park.
Yeah, and he's good at like picking up with people off and stuff like that, and making sure that, you know, everyone is all good and in the right headspace and stuff. So he's kind of takes it to that personal level.
No one's got a bad word to say. I mean, obviously you're not going to slag him off, but but everybody always says the same thing about Webby, that he's just such a good guy. Everyone that meets him enjoys him, and that he genuinely cares about people. And obviously that's a massive part of the Warriors' turnaround. 2024 is, like you said before, Dai, one of the most exciting years for the Warriors, one of the most exciting years to be a part of it as a fan. But for you guys, I don't want to get you too far ahead of yourselves, don't want to jinx anything, but is debuting in the NRL in 2024 one of the goals going into this year? We're going to start with you, Leke.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It is?
One of the goals, yeah.
Yeah.
To debut.
Tanner?
Yeah, 100% one of the goals to debut this year.
I suppose it's always, how far away do you think you are? Has Webby given you any indications? Just do this and you'll be sweet, just do that?
Couple games.
Couple games and you're on?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there is going to be a bit of a hole in the prop rotation next year, obviously, with the wonderful Adam Fanua-Blake leaving. So
well, that's why I'm bulking up, Dai. I'm just looking to lock that one down. We need-
I don't know if solely 4 and 20 pies is the way to bulk up properly, but you might get the call up. Who knows,
We'll
Manaia?
see how we go. Hopefully I do, and hopefully you boys do as well. Hopefully you both make your debut this year, and great work around the club. Thanks very much for joining us today, and go well for 2024, boys.
No, thank you. Boys.
And to any listeners out there, look these guys up. Amazing highlights reels. They're going to be stars of the future. So cheers, boys.
Thank you.